What's up guys, Christian here from TeckWrap. So I've got three different types of satin chrome here. One is by CYS, so this is called Change Your Style. It's just CYS premium wrapping film. I don't really know where it comes from. I also have Vvivid. This is Vvivid satin white chrome, and that's like a magenta or pink, whatever you want to call that. It's a little bit more luster in the Vvivid, you can see. And then we have TeckWrap. So I know there's probably been a lot of questions about TeckWrap. So you can see the backing paper. This is TeckWrap. Now a full roll of this is about 380 or 400 US dollars for a full roll. So we're talking, I think it's 5 by 75 feet or 5 by 60 feet. I'm not sure if they sell in 20-yard increments or 25-yard increments. Vvivids you can get for in any increment you want, basically. And CYS, I believe, comes a full roll at 75 feet as well. So if you ever want to order Vvivid, you can get that through us. Vvivid is updating their current satin chrome, so we can actually see, like, when you see this stuff move, like, this is pretty decent. It's got some good luster to it, but it's not anything like that. So when we talk about quality of chrome, we talk about, obviously we want a nice finish, and these two are very, very similar. They're much more matte. This is, I guess it's more of a matte chrome. This is more of a satin chrome. But again, this looks a lot more chrome than these other two do. So as far as adhesive goes, I want to show you what these adhesives look like. So TeckWrap basically just falls right off of the backing paper. Like there's like no stick. When I was sliding I think it's just stuck on by static actually. Like you can just see it just kind of stuck back on itself. It's really, really low initial tack. Like this is insane. I don't even know if I can stick a tissue to this. I don't even know if I have a tissue or whatever. For example, let's put on a cloth. Like that's probably too heavy, but whatever. You get the idea. Super low tack. I don't know if it's a heat activated film. It's very thin. So it does grab. And the fender on this car is hot right now. So this to me feels like a heat activated adhesive. Similar to Vvivids. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you capabilities in stretching, damaging, and obviously initial tap. So it does move pretty good. Let's move over to Vvivids here. So Vvivids, so that was as far as the pattern goes, I'm not sure if you saw it. That is a square air release pattern. Hopefully you can see that. I did play around with some of this already, and it's actually really hard to damage. So if you're looking for a different look, it's actually a really nice color. Here's Vvivids. We've got a bit of it's definitely a more visible air release or air egress on this, and it's more of a octagon shape. So you can see that up close and personal. Super lustrous, looks great. Also grabs a little bit more than TeckWrap. Not a lot though. Still super thin. They feel, as far as touch go, exactly the same. I don't feel a single difference. And then let's check out CYS. And CYS actually, it's got a little more grab on the backing paper than the TeckWrap. The air release looks exactly the same. So obviously there's a trend going on here, and now we know that Vvivids is different. So right off the bat, we know that the air egress is going to work a lot differently than it would on these two films, the TeckWrap and the CYS. All right. So let's take that off and let's see. This is actually, as far as initial tack goes, a lot more sticky. So it sticks pretty good. Vvivids it's really good there. And Vvivids is about the same, and these are two totally different adhesives from these two in the air release. And then this, on the other hand, doesn't even want to stick to my hand. So don't worry about it getting dirty. We're just doing this for demonstration purposes. I'm not trying to have a really nice finish. So what I want to show you now is if there's any damaging. So right now, I've creased this film a lot, and it seems to be doing pretty well. Let's heat it up and see what it's like to stretch it. So I'm gonna put my heat gun on the hottest setting. This takes a moment to warm up. And this goes up to about 1100 degrees. So it gets pretty hot. This will burn things. I always put my heat gun on the hottest setting. So it's actually, all those little wrinkles and creases are just going away. And surprisingly, I haven't burned the film yet, holding the heat gun this close to it. So let's just blast it out a little bit and see what that looks like for the TeckWrap. Super forgiving, gotta say, like and it conforms really well. And there's no haze in here right now. And it's holding. I actually thought that this stuff wouldn't hold at all. So I don't know what happens when the temperature changes. These are some things to test out for your own sake. I'm not going to obviously leave my car looking like this. This is just a winter car we just got and drove down to Connecticut with, made it back, and yeah, so we're good as far as that goes. But yeah, I'm not going to leave this on my car like that to find out. I can actually wrap a couple of speed shapes and see how that goes. So let's check out Vvivid's. As far as repositioning goes, I'm pretty certain that I've marked it right now because it has to be installed a totally different way. So as far as the markings go, it's these markings right here that run across. So this is why I like to use Tack Reducer and eliminate the chance of that happening. Now as far as TeckWrap goes, let me try and heat this out. I'm going to crinkle it up a bit, just like I did with TeckWrap. Use it. And we'll see what marks we have left after we heat it. I can already see that there's the white repositioning marks. Again, there's definitely more chrome to this film. What do you guys think? It looks more shiny? Yeah, so I have a couple of guys watching. Definitely looks more shiny than those two right there. Again, that's because there's probably more chrome in it than the other two. Depends on the desired effect that you're looking for. So these marks do not go away. All these creases and all these marks that I have right here do not go away. These are permanent marks. While on the other hand, TeckWrap, I can't see a single one of them. So as far as forgiveness goes, this is much more forgiving. This, in my opinion, looks a lot nicer. This is easy to work with on a scale of 1 to 10. I'd say that this is like an 8 or a 9, while this is like a 6 or a 7, because you have to be extra careful when repositioning this film, and also when you're removing the backing paper that we don't crease it, because these creases are permanent. And like I said, I can reposition this, and there are actually they're really light, like I can barely see them, but a couple of repositioning marks. But if this is the desired effect that you're going for and something a little bit easier to use, by all means pick it up. It's really inexpensive. You don't get quite that same chrome effect, but you do get the idea. And this actually stuck really good. That's the CYS. It does look nice, gotta say. It's not quite as lustrous, but it does have a nice shine to it. Let's stick it on and let's crinkle it up a little bit and see if these marks go away. Now these two look very much the same, but they feel totally different as far as like the aggressiveness goes on the initial tack. Like this feels like it's on there. That one is much easier to remove, while this one is, well, I didn't tack the top, but this one is a lot more difficult. So I'll heat this up a little bit and see if we can heat out some of these marks that I put in it. As far as repositioning marks go, I do see a few, kind of like Vvivid's, but not as bad. And this could be subject to color as well. I know that lighter colors in chrome are always a little bit more difficult to install than darker colors. And so these two finishes are darker colors. So there are a lot of marks in this film right now. There's a lot of creases. It does conform really nicely though, and it is super thin to work with. So I'm gonna move the camera up so you can see these marks. And actually I'm gonna just blast this back out. Let's get it back out. So you can see that there's pretty much no marks in TeckWrap. A lot of people will say that all these films are the same thing and they're all manufactured in the same place. I don't believe that for a second, feeling the difference between these three films. So let's have a look up close. And also, I don't believe that for a second because they all mark differently. So let's come down here, let the camera focus. So you can see all these black marks right here. These are all from repositioning, all right? Vvivid has them too. So I'll let the camera focus again. So Vvivid has them too because I crinkled it up. And TeckWrap doesn't have any. Super forgiving. There's actually one right there and a couple above it, but other than that, it's extremely durable and easy to use. Now, like I said, this has a really low tack, so I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to last in a recessed area. This, on the other hand, it takes a bit of effort to take off, right? And then this one, this is not how you want to remove it, but it's a little bit more difficult than Vvivid. So as far as difficulty on removal goes, this would be the easiest, the TeckWrap, then the Vvivid, then the CYS. And this is only after a few minutes, so we can't stay over long periods of time. We're just demoing this over 5 minutes. I just wanted to give you guys a rundown of what this is like. So let's heat this up and stretch it now and see how far it can stretch without hazing out the finish. I know they all will. Make sure that's hot. Yep. So I can already see Vvivid's is taking some damage, and this is quite hazed out right now, and it's all really, really marked up. Let's do this one, CYS. These are not bad films. This one feels like it would last for sure, and it seems a little bit easier to install than Vvivid, but again, the finish is not quite as lustrous. Let's see what it takes to stretch this out and crack the finish. And I've already played around with TeckWrap, and I know it stretches like crazy. It stretches insane. So that's pretty impressive. I have a slight color change, but it's actually not hazed out or anything like that. So ease of install, definitely going to be a little bit easier and a little bit more forgiving. And then this one here, and I think this one will last. This one will last as well, but it'll be more challenging for the install. Vvivid's like a 9 out of 10 as far as difficulty goes. Sorry, I said like 6, but it's like a 9 out of 10 as far as difficulty goes. This is like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 as far as difficulty goes, and that's probably around 8. Let's heat this up. And I've done this already before. It mostly just changes color. It doesn't really haze out, and that's a lot of stretch for, like, if that's chrome, that's a lot of stretch. And I'm even stretching it again after the stretch into the recess. So the air release, I mean, it works decent. I've kind of sealed up the edges here, so it's not really, that's why it's not releasing, but Vvivid's always works really well, I find. And that's it. So this actually hasn't even changed any color. Battery died. All right, so this one hasn't changed a lot of color at all. It's got a little bit lighter here. It's a little bit darker here, but it could just be the angle. I'll let you guys decide. This one doesn't even look like it changed that much color. It just has a lot of marks in it. And that one didn't change a lot of color as well. So as far as stretch goes, they do take quite a bit of stretch without discoloration. I've stretched them all at least 25 to 30%. You can see all the marks. So it's hard to install, guys. It's not easy stuff. And then we can see, these are more dead, they're more matte, they're not as chrome looking. But yeah, you can see the marks slightly, and there's still none really, other than wrinkles and bubbles that I caused. There's still really no marks. All right. So those are mainly the main things that I wanted to show you guys on the differences between a few of these underdog films. These are not popular films, but I do know a lot of you want to use TeckWrap or are thinking about it. I do know a lot of you are wondering about Vvivid as well and the difficulty. So easy difficulty, hard difficulty, but a much nicer effect. And a medium difficulty as far as chrome goes. These two films, again, very similar finish right here. And then we have Vvivid's, which is much more chrome in it. So, all right guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. If it did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Check out our website, ckwraps.ca. And check out, if you're interested in training, we do have workshops coming up. We have a November one, which is full. We will have another one in the new year, depending on how busy I am, possibly before the new year, so possibly in December. Definitely not another one in November though. And then we'll have more in the new year. So if you guys want to learn some techniques and some tricks and tips that I don't always go through in my videos, I know some of you get really angry about that, but I do have to save some secrets for my workshops. Otherwise, there's not a lot of value in it, other than just getting to work side by side with me. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Take care.